The West knows him as the Ayatollah. The veracity of the religious title is debatable. So is the way the ruling system has tailored it. Who is this Ayatollah? In just a moment, we'll discuss his exalted position with Dr. Kazim Alamdari, a sociology professor at California State University. But first, let's look at a few facts. Iran's supreme leader, Ali Hosseini Khamenei, stands above its head of state, its judiciary and the legislature, the three foremost branches of power. A 74-year-old cleric, therefore, is the top figure in a country that plays such an important role in the Middle East. Commander of the armed forces, he appoints all its military chiefs. The authority to declare war or call a referendum rests with him. Khamenei succeeded Khomeini, who led the 1979 revolution. His duties have included appointing the heads of the judiciary and the state media apparatus, and also half the members of the Guardian Council, those overseeing Islamic jurisprudence. This council checks new laws passed by the parliament and vets presidential and parliamentary candidates. Khamenei doesn't have to be charismatic, and he isn't seen that way by the many protesters who have destroyed the top political figure's portrait in the streets of the capital, shouting "Down with the dictator," at the risk of being clubbed over the head by security forces wielding batons, women included. Iran's leader branded the widespread protests over the result of the previous 2009 presidential elections as sedition. Two of the candidates of those polls, Mir Hossein Mousavi and Mehdi Karoubi, are still under house arrest. The unwritten punishment for criticizing the leader of the Islamic Republic can include anything from temporary detention to being killed. Physical removal is a term in vogue now. In 1997, a German court held Khamenei and then-President Rafsanjani responsible for the assassination in 1992 of 3 opposition members in Berlin. Khamenei describes himself as a revolutionary. He has said he is not a diplomat, but many signs point to his office as the place where all matters of supreme importance are decided, such as policy on relations with the United States and Iran's nuclear activities.
Is there any similarity in any other country to Mr. Khamenei's political and religious position as enshrined in the Iranian constitution?
The absolute supreme leader has unlimited authority. In the world today, there are more than a few dictators and lawbreakers, but I do not see any case like Iran's in which the constitution bestows dictatorship rights on a leader. This dictatorship is the result of the merger of the two power institutions of religion and government, and of the leadership position being accorded for the man's lifetime. These two factors, along with Mr. Khamenei's monopolizing spirit, have created a phenomenon which is unique in the world.
How do you see the process by which the Iranian leader attained power? In what ways does his position balance power with legitimacy?
This leader's coming to power was the result of a big conspiracy against the legal heir to Ayatollah Khomeini, and that was Ayatollah Montazeri, who was also a member of the House of Experts, from among whose number a successor is elected. After the death of Khomeini, Rafsanjani claimed that Khomeini had named Khamenei to become leader. This is in spite of the fact that no such thing was mentioned in Khomeini's 30-page will. After Khomeini's death, Khamenei and Rafsanjani marginalized Ayatollah Khomeini's son, Ahmad, and they shared power between them. 2 years later, Ahmad died in suspicious circumstances. After that, Khamenei and Rafsanjani's views began to diverge. Rafsanjani looks ahead, while Khamenei looks to the past. He's anti-Western and against modernity. With his monopolizing attitude, and aided by the military Islamic Revolutionary Guards and hardline conservatives, Khamenei managed to marginalize Rafsanjani as well.
Looking at what happened with the reformist protests surrounding the last presidential elections, can we say that the leader interferes with the election process?
Yes, the leader interferes with the elections. The third year into Ahmadinejad's term, the leader said in a speech that Ahmadinejad should not assume that his presidency had only 1 year left to run, and that he should prepare himself for the 5 years after that. Therefore, in the last presidential elections, Khamenei used his influence to direct the process in favor of Ahmadinejad and against Mousavi. To Khamenei, a president's independent stance can be interpreted as a dual authority within the system and a threat against his own absolute power. Even in this period, he acted against Khatami and Rafsanjani and prevented their candidacies.
In your view, what's the most important challenge the leader of the Islamic Republic of Iran is facing?
The main challenges Khamenei faces are the women's movement for freedom, democracy and equality, the very bad economic conditions, the international sanctions and global isolation.
آقای دکتر کاظم علمداری از اینکه دعوت یورونیوز را پذیرفتید سپاسگزارم.
خواهش میکنم.